Welcome back, guys. So, remember a few months ago when I made a review on the Anbernic RG405 and how recently I did a comparison between the RG405 and the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus? Well, Anbernic is releasing a new device called the Anbernic RG405M, and I pre-ordered it. So they put this device up for sale this morning, and it's $167. Now that is currently $20 more, close to $20 more than the RG405, and once this like $10 off sale ends, it's going to be $30 more at $177. So what does this have to make it so much more expensive? Let's go over that. So the tech specs here, compared to the RG405, this thing is basically the same. It has the Unisoc Tiger T618 64-bit quad-core CPU, which is the same in the RG405, 4 GB of RAM, Wi-Fi 2.4, 5G, Android 12, Hall effect joysticks, a 4-inch touchscreen that is lower quality than the one on the RG405. They have the Mali G52 GPU, which is the same, 128 GB of storage, which is the same, Bluetooth 5.0, which I'm pretty sure is the same. Yes, Bluetooth 5.0. And a 4,500 mAh battery, which is worse than the one on the RG405, because the RG405 had a 5,000 mAh battery. So what is it that makes this device more expensive? So a tech spec that I purposefully left out is that it's using the aluminum alloy. It's in an aluminum shell. It's in an aluminum shell, whereas the RG405 was just, it doesn't say, but I assume it's not aluminum. This is definitely not aluminum. This is probably just plastic. Looking over the design a little bit, it's clear that this is kind of similar to Anbernic's other designs, other devices, where their device is like more flat, except this one seems to be more rounded. This looks like the older devices they would make, just more powerful. The left thumbstick is on the top, which honestly is a weird choice, because on their bigger device, one that has more room where it would make sense to put the left stick on the top, they put it on the bottom. And for their smaller device, where you're probably gonna be playing 2D games more than anything, they put the D-pad on the bottom. So the specs here are a little disappointing, especially since it's more expensive. We'll talk about the price a little more later, but like these specs don't really amaze me in any way. The aluminum probably feels nice, and I pre-ordered it, so I'm gonna feel it when I get it. But it has a worse screen than the RG405. It's 4-inch. It's 4 inches and not like close to 5 inches like the one on the RG405 is. The same CPU, same GPU, same amount of RAM, same Wi-Fi, same OS, worse battery, 4,500 mAh instead of 5,000, and the same joysticks and the same storage. So the only thing here that's different that I could see that could bump up the price is the material. And they did what the Odin did, which is they put the start and select buttons like at the bottom. Like look here on the Odin, the start and select buttons are both down here. They did that on this as well. I don't know why they did that. If the joysticks feel anything like they do on the RG405, they'll probably feel nice. These joysticks do feel pretty good. And that D-pad looks a little different from the one on the RG405. So I hope it's better, because I'm not in love with this D-pad. I mean, it feels good. It's a good D-pad, but it could be better. Like, it feels kind of like not really clicky or like fun to use. There's two color options, gray and black, and this gray looks a little green, so I'm kind of starting to regret purchasing the green. I kind of wish I went with the black, but I mean, it was 6 in the morning. I woke up like 3 minutes beforehand and I bought it, so can you really fault me? I do kind of wish I bought this black though. That looks really nice. But let's really talk about the price now, because I am kind of annoyed by this. Because this thing, like I said, uses the exact same body, like everything in it, except for the battery, the screen, and the shell, are the exact same as the ones in the RG405, which is bigger and probably a device I'd like better, and this is more expensive than this. I don't get it. I don't understand why this is $167 just because it doesn't look that much better than the RG405. Maybe it is. Maybe I am wrong, and we'll figure that out in due time. But I don't know, I'm not regretting buying this because I would have bought it anyway, but I'm kind of regretting getting the color I did. I don't regret buying it, but I do kind of regret the color I got, and I kind of wish, I don't just kind of wish, I do wish it was less expensive, because this thing should not be this expensive. Like, is aluminum really that hard to, like, is that expensive? And if it is, don't get aluminum. I think that the RG505 looks like, at least currently, a better device design-wise, so I'm not really sure why this would be more expensive, or if the aluminum is to blame, why they even went with aluminum in the first place. This is just a weird setup, because like the D-pad is on the bottom, which is already a very weird place to put it. I don't understand why they did that, because this device looks very 2D centric, and especially with this chip inside of it, you're not gonna be able to play that many 3D games, so why they put the D-pad on the bottom is beyond me. Maybe they want to like advertise Android gaming with this, but we all know that's not what you buy this for. You buy this for emulation, and like maybe you'd want to play 3D games, but I mean at the same time, play something else. Get a different device. If you want to play 3D games, a bunch of 3D, if you want to emulate 3D games, get a different device. This design is just so confusing. I do expect that the emulation, like I said, isn't going to be too kind of great. I mean, the emulation on the RG505 isn't amazing, and they've already said that this thing is the exact same CPU, GPU, RAM that this thing has. So what I think, it's probably going to be a few 3DS games, no problem. Like, I'm able to play Animal Crossing New Leaf on these things with no issue, but there are other games you're going to have to rely on lowering the frame rate, dealing with a lower frame rate or dealing with a lower resolution to try and get them to work, and that's not a compromise that I'd want to take. Maybe you're different, but I feel like it's not really worth it. So they advertise here, they give a bunch of systems. They say PS2, Wii, GameCube, 3DS, PSP, Dreamcast, PS1, NDS, and like more that are less powerful. They do the most powerful to least powerful. They say PS2 and Wii and GameCube and 3DS, which is a tall order because this thing can barely play Mario Kart 7. So you're obviously going to be able to play some games, and with the Dolphin for handheld emulator that you get from Retroid, you'll probably be able to play a lot of GameCube games at a lower resolution. But Wii and PS2, I'm not entirely sure about. Maybe PS2, but I haven't tried it all that much. Wii, you're gonna have to lower that resolution a lot. And for Wii here, they put the Wii U, like they put an image of a Wii U, which I thought was really funny when I first saw it. Anything under that though, you'll be able to play, which is why I'm confused why the D-pad is on the bottom, because I feel like for a device like this, where 3D games are not the main focus, why is the D-pad on the bottom? I just hope it's comfortable to use. Like, I hope it feels nice to use and not like uncomfortable. I'm being very pessimistic. I do know that this device is probably going to be really good when it releases, and I'm probably going to like it a lot. But right now, I'm confused by this design. The good news is this isn't like a pre-order period. Like, there's no pre-order period that you go through before it starts shipping, like with Retroid and the Retroid Pocket Flip. They are just like shipping these. So I think I just did basic shipping. I paid $12 for shipping, so what's that? Like, yeah, that's just a normal amount. So 4PX, and they put like this tab here that says shipping details. 4PX from China, which is where mine's shipping from. Shipping time is 7 to 20 days. So this could be here in a week, and this could be here in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, close to. I don't know. My other devices that I've ordered from Anbernic haven't come the fastest. Like, I think the RG35XX, which I got here, didn't come that quickly. I think I ordered it like late November or early December, and it got to me like 2 or 3 weeks later. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm probably going to be late to it because I know a lot of people have already gotten their hands on it because Anbernic has sent them devices. But I'll be sure to give you guys my full thoughts and like my honest opinions once it arrives. So yeah, I am excited for this device. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic because that D-pad placement looks a little weird, but I mean, what can I really do? I'll just wait and see, and once it arrives, I'll give my full opinions, tell you what I think of the design and how it feels, and how the shoulder buttons are still laid out like horizontally. They're laid out side by side like they are in the RG505, not like stacked like they are on the Retro Pocket 3 Plus. So that's kind of annoying, but I mean, for a smaller device, I think it works. We're gonna have to wait and see how it feels, and I'm gonna give you my full thoughts like I keep saying. So just wait for that, and I'll see you guys next week. Tell me down below, what do you think of this device? Do you think it's a stupid buy? Do you think it's dumb that all these companies keep releasing devices with the same exact chip in it every 2 weeks? Because I do as well. Let me know down below, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.